With the start of a new season, rank gets reset and the grind begins all over again. If you want to reach the leaderboards this time, you don't need to be a pro. Even average players can reach higher ranks with the right strategy, consistency, and smart decision making. In this video, I'll walk you through several tips and techniques that can help any player climb faster. I've already reached the leaderboards before, both in BR and squad fight as a solo player because I don't have a squad, and most of the time I just play with randoms. Last season, Bloodstrike added another rank in BR, the Mythic rank. Upon reaching this rank, my highest rank, which was top 156, got replaced with the top 999 in Mythic, so I needed to grind again, and in this season, I reached top 214. There are actually two ways on how you can reach the leaderboards. The first one is to grind immediately after the rank resets. The goal is to reach Legendary or Mythic if possible during the first day of the reset. This is what I did. I reached Legendary on the first day, then Mythic and leaderboards on the second or third day. The only problem is the lobbies are very intense since you are playing against top leaderboard players in the previous season. The other way is to accumulate points all throughout the season. Last season, the top 250 had 79,000 points. If you get around 70,000 points, that should save you a spot in the leaderboards. This method is a bit easier compared to the first one, but it takes a lot of time and you need to be consistent in earning points on a daily basis. You don't need to be at the pro level, but you need to have a strong foundation and game sense. Even simple things like map awareness, choosing your engagements wisely, and staying consistent can put you ahead of most players. Master the basics and the ranks will naturally follow. Starting with the first step, master your HUD and sensitivity. Aside from having the right settings, everything about your gameplay revolves around these two important factors. Having mastery in your sensitivity is a secret to a good aim and movement. Sometimes copying the sensitivity of other players works, but most of the time it doesn't. Finding what suits you best is important, and this is also the same case with your HUD. If you want to find your own sensitivity, I have a video uploaded on my channel. I also uploaded a video on various HUD recommendations, so be sure to check it out. Another important tip that will help you improve and win more fights is to prioritize aim over movement. I have said this in my previous videos that no matter how well you move, if you can't land your shots, you won't secure any kills. Mastering movement is great, but it should complement your aim, not replace it. Focus on tracking, recoil control, and crosshair placement first. Once your aim becomes reliable, improve your movement without lowering your accuracy. A player with simple movement but solid aim will always outperform someone who slides and jumps everywhere yet can't properly land shots. While aim is more important than movement, it's also crucial to learn basic movements that you can incorporate with your aim. Movements like slide cancel, slide jump, backslide, and strafing help you stay unpredictable and harder to hit without sacrificing your accuracy. You don't need to master every flashy and complicated move, but knowing these fundamentals gives you enough mobility to create openings during fights. The goal isn't to move non-stop, it's to use movement intentionally so you can line up cleaner shots while making your opponents miss. Over time, combining solid aim with smart movement will make your fights feel way more controlled and consistent. To win more fights, you need to use the right weapons. I recently made a video on the top 10 weapons that are in the current meta. For the assault rifles, I highly recommend the Spear and Galil. These two ARs are currently at the top because of what they have to offer. In terms of damage and range, the Spear is slightly ahead than the Galil. On the other hand, the Galil is slightly better in terms of fire rate and overall stability. For the SMGs, that would be the UMP-45 and MP5. The UMP-45 is currently the best gun right now in close range fights because of its high burst capability. The MP5 has a lesser damage than the UMP, but its fire rate is faster, so it's still reliable in close range fights. These are the attachments. Another important tip that can help you rank up is to buy a loadout for your team. Most players wait to buy their own loadouts at shops, but in my case, I always grab a loadout as soon as I have 10,000 cash because it helps the entire team right away. If you and your teammates have better weapons at the start of the match, then you have a much higher chance of winning early fights and snowballing your momentum. A team with meta weapons and upgraded attachments instantly becomes more confident and more aggressive. It also prevents your teammates from wasting time looting random weapons. The faster your squad gets your ideal setup, the faster you can rotate, push, and take control of the map. The next step is probably one of the most important tips on this list, and that is learning to redeploy your teammates. A lot of players forget how crucial this is, but keeping your squad alive is what keeps you in the game longer. The more teammates you have on the field, the higher your chances of winning every engagement. Some players might say they are waiting for their teammates to ask before redeploying them, but the truth is you don't need to wait. You can redeploy them right away. When a teammate dies, a small parachute icon appears beside their name. All you have to do is to tap that icon and you can bring them back instantly. Every time you bring a teammate back, you're not just saving them, you're saving the match. A full squad can take more fights, cover more angles, and recover faster. Learning when and how to redeploy can be the difference between a quick elimination and a comeback win. Another important tip is to play according to your strengths. This has something to do with your playstyle, whether you're an aggressive or a passive player. We all have different ways of approaching fights, and it's completely okay to play at your own pace. In my case, I'm very inconsistent in close range fights, so I try to create space between me and my targets to gain an advantage. I'm more confident in my aim at mid-range to longer distances. Observe your gameplay and try to see what you're good at. Once you identify your strength, build your entire strategy around it. If you're good at close range, stick to tight areas and force enemies into your comfort zone. If you're better at mid-range or long range, hold angles, play the high ground, and pick your fights wisely. Playing according to your strengths doesn't just help you survive, it helps you stay consistent and win more fights on your own terms. Next is familiarize a landing spot. Knowing a certain spot or place in the map can help you become more efficient, especially when you are gathering resources at the start of the game. This helps you become more familiar at the location of the different chests and can help build momentum. I have a preferred landing spot of the different maps. In Shire Island, I always land at this spot beside the boiler room. I know the location of the different chests, which saves me a lot of time, and the good thing about this place is the chests being near to each other, so it's easy to gather weapons and other resources right away. At the Skyline map, I always land in the Skyline City but not at the chopper pad. Instead, I land at this building beside it. The good thing about this spot is that you have 3 different locations, either at the top, second floor, and the first floor. There are also nearby buildings that have a lot of loot, and there's also easy access to a shop, so it's a very good spot to land early on. At the Desert Valley, I don't play that much on this map anymore, but I like to drop at the Air Force Base. Once you master a landing spot, it becomes your comfort zone, a place where you can start strong, secure momentum, and set the pace for the rest of the match. Another tip that often gets overlooked is to have a proper rotation. This is very helpful, especially in larger maps like Desert Valley and Skyline map. These maps have a lot of open areas, and rotating late usually puts you at a disadvantage, because you'll end up running in the open while enemies are already positioned and waiting for you. By rotating early, you can secure high ground, hold stronger angles, and avoid getting sandwiched by multiple teams. You can also gatekeep enemies from entering the zone. When you rotate early and secure a good position near the edge of the safe area, you can catch players who are late to rotate. They will be forced to run towards you with little to no cover, which gives you an easy advantage in those fights. Another simple but extremely effective tip is to wear headphones. Sound plays a huge role in winning fights, especially in fast-paced games like this. With headphones, you can clearly hear footsteps, gunfire, and skill activation around you. This helps you figure out where enemies are coming from before you even see them. The footsteps indicator will only show once your enemies are within range. But with headphones, you can actually hear them much earlier, even before the visual indicator appears. This gives you more time to prepare, letting you anticipate enemy movement. Pre-aim the direction they're coming from and position yourself for the advantage. You'll start to recognize different audio cues like someone climbing a ladder, sliding on the ground, or reloading behind a wall. All those tiny sounds give you information that can help you outplay your opponent without even seeing them yet. One effective way of winning more matches is to play with a squad. Having teammates you can coordinate and communicate with makes a huge difference, especially in intense mid to late game situations. When everyone watches each other's backs, shares information, and focuses targets together, fights become much easier to win. You can set up crossfires, revive each other faster, and rotate as a team. Even just having one teammate to trade shots with can completely change the outcome of a fight. And unlike with randoms who might push alone or leave you behind, a solid squad will keep the game organized and strategic. Once you reach the leaderboards, you will notice that a lot of the top players are part of the same plan. That's because playing with a consistent squad builds chemistry, you learn each other's strengths, weaknesses, and playstyles. Over time, your teamwork becomes automatic. You don't even need to say much, you already know how each teammate will react in a fight. Being in a clan also gives you people to practice, strategize, and grind ranks with. Instead of relying on random teammates who might disconnect or play selfishly, you have a trusted group working towards the same goal. In competitive games like this, good mechanics can win fights, but good teamwork wins matches. Which of these tips help you the most? Comment down your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.